Sorry, my camera cut out, so there's gonna have to be 2 videos. It's gonna have to be like 1 and 2. So if you catch this video first, there's actually a video before I start crying. So my notification for medication actually just popped up. So yeah, they were weighing her, and they're like, do we have a name for the baby? And I was like, no, and I wanted nothing to do. I was like, that's not my baby. I didn't want to touch her. I didn't want to hold her. Pretty much the whole time that we were in the hospital, I held her maybe once. She ended up having, like, her body temperature drop down, and she had to go to the NICU for a little while, and I felt bad that there was a baby hurting and there was a baby in trouble, but I didn't want that baby to be mine, because in my mind I was still pregnant and I was going to go deliver my baby. And so Mike held her a lot. I didn't change her diaper for about 2 weeks. We actually left the hospital without a name for Harper. She didn't have a name for about 30 days because I didn't want to accept her as mine. I really didn't. And it sucks because I love Dakota so much. And I felt really bad because I knew I should love this baby. But it was just so traumatic, and like things that happened to me when I was younger, and then the traumatic experience of the C-section, and trying to tell them that I knew this baby was breech and nobody listened was really hard. And then after that, we left the hospital and stuff, and at the hospital I got a really bad hematoma, and which is pretty much like under the incision, like a bunch of blood pooled up under there, and I have pictures of it. It was really bad. Like my whole abdomen was black and blue, like super bad, and they were gonna have to go in and do surgery again, but they drew a line around it, and thank goodness the blood stopped pooling up under there. But so I had a bunch of staples in, and normally they take those out 3 to 4 days after you leave the hospital. And when I went back to the hospital, or went back to my doctor, she said that she couldn't remove them because my hematoma was so bad. Like, I'll post a couple of pictures in this album that I do. Like, you can see when I'm standing there, you can see the bump of the hematoma. And don't really have clothes on in those. And it was just really hard, and it took about 2 to 3 weeks before I could get the staples out, because one of the times I went back, I then had an infection in my wound. So that was really hard. I had to be on antibiotics, and it hurt really bad. And so I don't know if in my mind I was blaming it on Harper or not. I don't know, but I still wanted nothing to do with Harper. It took me 2 weeks to change her diaper. We had to go to Mike's aunt's house, and I felt so like out of place. Like, I'm comfortable there, but I felt like I couldn't even take care of myself and my baby. Like, Mike was scared to leave us home together because he didn't think we'd make it through. So it was just really hard, and I just wanted Dakota, not Harper. And so yeah, like, it was just hard. I'll try to move on to like the next section. I really started to lose interest in everything at that point. I didn't want to go do things. I was in pain. I didn't enjoy my baby. And then Mike took Harper to one of her pediatrician appointments, and I didn't go. I didn't want to. And that's when our pediatrician was like, there's something wrong with your wife. She needs to come in and speak to our therapist. So I went in and I spoke to the therapist at the pediatrician. I pretty told her how much what I felt. I didn't want to go, but Mike pretty much was like, you need to go. So I went for him, and she was like, you are beyond like what I can help with, but she's like, you really have postpartum depression, and you need to go see somebody that is specialized in this. And she gave me some groups, and I showed Mike them, and Mike's like, we're going tomorrow night. And every Tuesday for 2 years I went to postpartum support group. And you talk about your feelings. I cried the first day. You talk about your feelings, the things that are going on. Like, they're amazing support, and there's girls coming in and out all the time. And I really got to click with some of the girls and the instructors there. There's always an instructor, a therapist, and then the girls, and you're allowed to bring your babies, and Mike went to every support group meeting with me every week. And I didn't want to believe that I had postpartum depression. I didn't. It took a really long time for me to understand that, and I actually just wanted to know when give me the day that I'm not going to feel this way. I'll circle it on my calendar. I will make it there. I will make it to that date, but I just need to know it. And it sucks because postpartum depression, you don't get it. You have to work, and it's hard work. And so as I was going to that, one of our friends in our postpartum group, it's a year now, so last Christmas, lost her life to postpartum depression, and that's when it really hit me hard. Like, Christmas in January last year was super bad. I could reflect so much that her babies were young, my babies are young, she's struggling, I'm struggling, I have amazing support, and I can't figure this out, so it was really hard. And it just hit home when that happened, because I could relate so much, and it scared me, because even though that's her story, it doesn't mean it has to be mine. But it seems so real that that's what was happening in my mind. And oh my gosh, sorry. I went on like a couple of months feeling that way, and just crying and not feeling, just wasn't in a good place. And my family didn't know anything about it. My friends didn't know anything about it. My husband knew about it because he was helping me through it. My support group knew about it. But it just slowly started to get worse. And I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to take medication. The whole entire time I was against medication. I didn't want it. I've never taken medication in my whole entire life. So I was like, I don't need it. Why do I need medication? I barely take medicine when I'm sick. Like, why do I need medication? And so I didn't want to take medication. But then after my friend lost her life, it really went downhill from there. And then I went to group one night, and I was having a really bad day, and the therapist there pulled me aside, and we were talking, and she pretty much was like, you need to go to the mother-baby program, and that's where you can bring your baby. Harper was older because she was about a year at that time, and I didn't want to. I didn't think I needed to. But in that moment, she was telling Mike, she's like, you need to go get her signed up now. You need to go get her signed up now. You'd take her in the moment. And so we went and we signed up. And then about 4 days later, I went into the mother-baby program. And that was just this past summer. I think it was June 2nd or something, June 1st or 2nd, and nope, it was June 4th. I went to the mother-baby program, and you have to tell your story to them, and they were like, you're not leaving? And I didn't understand. I had to go to inpatient hospital, which here it's called Pine Rest. When you think of Pine Rest, you think of people that are crazy. But I was like, I'm not that person, I promise. And I had to go inpatient for 2 weeks. I missed Father's Day. We had to cancel my son and daughter's birthday party because that's where I was at. Nobody knew where I was at. I wasn't allowed to have a phone. I wasn't allowed to have anything. I really had to just take all these classes there and stuff. And they started me on medication. I went from no medication to 14 different kinds of medication. I was taking 4 to 5 times a day. It was hard. I could have a visitor about twice a week, and the kids would come, and then they'd scream when they would leave. It was only like an hour you could visit. So at one point, I just told Mike not to bring the kids because it was way too hard on me, and it was way too hard on them. So Mike and I would talk, and he'd bring some snacks because they don't have like snacks and stuff there. And so that was a really big struggle, and that was a very sad moment, very embarrassing moment. Like, at that point, Mike had to tell my parents because I wasn't around. I was in Pine Rest for 2 weeks. Like, it's crazy. And then I got out of there. Well, when I was there, you have to do some things. And so when I was there, you have to learn like how to cope and like what things you might need to change or should change and stuff. And so one of the things I did is we had to create a collage, and so here's my collage I created, and it depicts things that I do currently and that I did then and that I love and that maybe I should go back. And I set myself up sometimes where I'm wearing too many hats, and maybe I should just wear one hat at a time. That's why there's a girl here, and that even if I'm wearing these hats, I'm still beautiful. Like, I have a hard time. I have really bad confidence in myself, and that this one has like cheetah print on it, and like that I need to become my fierce self again. Like, I felt like I was unstoppable before I became a mom. I lost myself with Harper, and it just went downhill. So these are all some things that depict that, and so I really am trying to learn just to wear one hat at a time. It's a really hard thing to do because I used to be a very good multitasker, and then this happened and I couldn't concentrate on anything. I couldn't ride in the car because I had so much anxiety that I felt like I was boxed in and I couldn't go. Like, even if it was a 5-minute ride, we went to my parents and it was horrible. Like, they live an hour away and I had such a hard time going there. I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to do anything. I had to see a therapist every day that I was in Pine Rest and a psychiatrist there. And then another thing that I made was this notebook, and it has a mom giraffe and a baby giraffe, and it says, take a moment to take it all in, because I have a hard time just stopping because I wanna accommodate everybody. I want, like, when people come over to my house, I'm constantly moving and doing things and trying to get things for them because I can't take the moment in. I can't. Like, I just want to please everybody. I want everybody to have the best time ever. And then when everybody leaves, I'm just like, oh. So I'm trying to learn to, like, sit down and enjoy that and talk with them. And that's the part of me building myself here, is, like, I need to learn how to grow my confidence. And then another book I made, we had to cut out stuff from a magazine and make, like, a sentence, a poem, or any saying out of it. So I'll read you mine. Mine says, enough already. There is only one way to feel good things in life, is to think outside of the box, because it's time to mix it up and beat this step by step and eliminate unnecessary objects by conquering enough and loving it. So that's what I made, and, like, I put my journal in here of, like, my journey. And while I was there, you'll notice, like, all of my business stuff has dream catchers on it, and it's because all the way back from there, I just watercolor with a straw, like, blowing, made a dream catcher, and I was like, I need to dream bigger. I need a dream that it can beat this, and take that dream and make it a reality. So that's why I have dream catchers on everything. I have a pillow behind me that says dream. And I tried to make my family a part of all of this. So I got out of Pine Rest. And then I started the mother baby program again. And they started me on a medication that, I mean, they started me on 14 of them, but they started me on one medication at my first time at Pine Rest, and it was about 4 days I was on the medication. We went up north with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law for a kayaking trip, and I was going crazy in the car. I was like, Mike, we were on our way to Traverse City, and I was like, Mike, can you just drop me off? Just drop me off at the hospital there. Just drop me off at the hospital there. I was freaking out. Like, my anxiety, it wasn't like I was just shaking. It hurt every day. It hurt. Like, every part of me hurt. My body hurt. My heart hurt. Everything hurt. Because I was so used to being so tight. And so we get there, we get to the property, and I slept practically the whole weekend. They were out playing games and having bonfires, and I was miserable. I was so tired. I was so drugged up because of the medication. I don't remember any of that time period. I don't remember any of Harper's first year. I was just gone, and then they gave me the medication, and I don't remember anything. I did crazy things. People worried about me driving, and when we were there in Traverse City, I was laying in the bed, and the next day we were going to go kayaking, and I was putting it in my mind that I was really going to convince Mike and my brother and sister-in-law to go by themselves without me, to leave me there by myself, and that's because I no longer wanted to live. I was going to try to commit suicide, and I was just done. I was done. Like, I was hurting so bad. I was so tired. I was so done. And I know in my mind I don't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. I love my family. I wouldn't want them to hurt. But I was hurting so bad. So we made it back from our trip, and I had to go to Mother Baby right away. And my first day back at Mother Baby, they sent me back to Pine Rest again. And I was like, I think it's the Abilify that's really affecting me. I was having like some sort of allergic reaction to it, that it was making me having suicidal thoughts and being suicidal. I didn't attempt anything, but I was pretty close. And I could never imagine myself be that way, ever in my life. And so they sent me back to Pine Rest. They took me off of that and put me on another medication, actually like 3 more medications. Take one away, give me 2 more, plus 1 for the one we changed out. And I was there a week. It was hard. It was a different one. It was more intense. And once I got out of there, I don't remember anything because I was on some super crazy medication at that point. The suicidal thoughts went away, but I was so tired. I would go to bed at like 6, and I'd wake up at 9, and I'd go right back to bed at like 11 and sleep for 4 hours. It was hard. It was rough. It was scary because I was like, I can't be here with the kids. I can't work. I can't sleep. I'm sleeping all the time. Like, this is just crazy. And then I had to go back to Mother Baby after that, and I actually made it through the program at that point. Took me about a week and a half, and I made it through. And at that point, I got a therapist outside of Mother Baby and Pine Rest, and I see my therapist weekly right now. I see my psychiatrist at least once a month for med checks and stuff. I'm on I convinced him that I didn't need to be on a lot of the medications, and I feel so much better. I don't need to sleep. I sleep normal now. I sleep normal, and I can be awake during the day. That was very stressful, and I had a lot of anxiety because, like, if 7 o'clock rolled around and we were in the car or we were somewhere else, I started freaking out and having panic attacks, because I was worried that I wasn't going to get to bed and I wasn't going to make it. I wasn't going to make it at all. And so it was just a really, really rough. And once they took me off of those medications, things started to look brighter. They started to look brighter right away. And now I'm only on 6 medications. I won't have to be on them forever. I just need to get through this part of my journey. And so far it's been a 2.5-year journey. But I'm starting to learn now, like, it's not my fault. And that I need to accept help. And that medication does help. And that I do want to be here for my family. And then that's when, like, that happened not long ago. Like, it started in June. My whole summer was gone because I was practically in Pine Rest and mother baby the whole time. So now I'm on 6 medications a day, taken 4 times a day. But it works for me right now, and it keeps my anxiety away. And I'm learning how to cope with it. I'm getting better sleep at night. And then that's when on Facebook I started seeing LuLaRoe, but I didn't see LuLaRoe as, like, me being a customer and buying things. I was seeing LuLaRoe as people having these videos and talking, and they had so much confidence, and they were making other people feel well, and I was like, I would have been able to do that, like, so easily, when I was younger and in college and stuff. Like, I had so much confidence then. And I looked at their videos and I was like, man, I really wish I could do that. I really wish I could have that confidence, and I don't even know how to explain it. And so, I bought a pair of leggings, my first pair, because I wanted to be sure. Like, I was so intrigued by the business. I Googled so much about it, and, like, the empowerment that it was giving women, and, like, I didn't go for it for the shopping and the selling to others. Not at all. I went for self-growth, and it's been an amazing experience so far. And watching those videos, I was like, I want that confidence. I need that confidence. And when people are having panic attacks, you shock yourself. You shock yourself with water. Stick your hands in water. Well, I shock myself by putting myself out there. So that's what this LuLaRoe journey has been. And I bought a pair of leggings, and then within a week and a half I signed up, and I went through a bunch of loops, and I found this one consultant, and I just kept going back to her videos. Like, she just spoke to me. I kept going back to her videos and kept going back to her videos, and I had no clue who she was. And then I messaged her, and I was like, I want to sign on. And so within 2 weeks of me finding out about LuLaRoe, I signed on. And then I got my stuff, and I started videos. That's why my first video was super hard. I mean, this is super hard. I haven't told my story from like that in a long time, because now we're working on other things, like, that happened in my childhood and stuff, and how to be okay with what's going on. And I've been the best I've ever been, I feel like, right now. I cried right there, but that's because it's hard. It still weighs on my heart. But every day's a better day. And I have a really hard time accepting compliments and stuff. So LuLaRoe has made me have to learn to accept compliments, because I've received so many from so many people that I don't even know. It's so generous, and it really does touch my heart that so many people care out there. So I just thank you for that, and I want to continue this journey, and I'll keep continuing this journey, growing myself. My why may change as I grow, right now. It was just to put myself out there and gain confidence and learn to be able to accept those compliments that people are giving me and helping others. And if they ever need a confidence boost, like, I am there. I'm there for you. I understand. And so I just wanted to give you a quick why on that. I don't even know if that was a real why. Not sure. Might have been just a story, but this is kind of like my why journey, I guess. Because I didn't just start to want to sell things, but I got my first leggings and I loved them. And then at that point I knew that I really needed to do LuLaRoe, because not only did I love their stuff and I loved what they stood for, but I love the fact that I could build myself up from it. And I have. And I love it. I have been enjoying it so much. And meeting so many people that I've never known. And they're all so great. So, I will take you around my room really quick. Hopefully I don't make you sick. But I'll show you a couple of things that I put in my room that really make it special for me. Hey. And so, yeah. Sorry, Mike is coming up the stairs.
What are you doing?
I am on the camera. Talking about my why.
Okay.
I'm just finishing up.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll take you around the room real quick. Hopefully I don't make you sick moving the video around, but I just want to thank you guys so much for pretty much solidifying that LuLaRoe was a great choice for me. I was scared. I was so scared to start. But now that I started, I feel like I'm growing so much. So let's look at the room. Sorry for crying. And normally I would have started out this video saying, I probably would never have done this video before I've gained a little bit of this confidence, because I was like, who wants to listen to me cry? Like this is like just listening to Amanda whine, a whine fest. Like, somebody call the ambulance because somebody is whining again, and I feel like other people have bigger problems than me, and why should I be so sad? Like, I don't have problems. Like my problems are nothing compared to some of those moms that are stuck in the NICU or family members that pass away and stuff. But I'm starting to realize that pain is pain and it hurts everybody, and it doesn't matter what's going on, it still hurts. So I'll have you look around. So up here I put a picture of Mike and I when we first got engaged, and I put a tree in front of it because he's my roots, for real. He's my guy. I have a giraffe here. It's my favorite animal. My face is so red. Right, coming out of the room, I just have around the room like some pictures. Like, there's Mike and I again getting engaged when we got engaged, and then I have, you're supposed to tell yourself when you have low confidence in the mirror every day that you're beautiful. So I put on my mirror, I don't know if you can see it here, it says, "Hello, gorgeous." I put that on there so that when I take pictures in that, or if I walk by that, I see that, and it's like a mental thing, like, you got this, Amanda. And then up here, over here, I have like, oh, I don't know if you can see it, a board with all the pictures that make up part of my life. And then I have the American flag, because this is a great country that we live in, and I love everybody that helps support it. And this swan right here was my Grandma Graves's, and she painted it, and the swan reminds me of the lake that she lived on. I have a tattoo in honor of her. So it's robin. I know it's black, but it is a robin. And yeah, so I have that in remembrance. And then I have my A over here, and then this is the box that Mike proposed to me, and it's got, he proposed to me via fortune cookie, and when I broke the fortune cookie open the first time, I actually ate the piece of paper, and I didn't know that. And so Mike was like, here, you can have mine. I was like, no, 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 no. I took it like out of my mouth and was like trying to unwrap this wet piece of paper. And I couldn't read. And he's like, just take mine. I was like, no, that's your fortune. I need my fortune. And he's like, just take mine. And I was like, okay. And it says, let me see. And he had somebody stuff these into some fortune cookies at a restaurant we were at. And it says, there are brighter days ahead. And on the other side, he made like some little Chinese symbols. I don't know if you can see them. And it says, English translation, me, you. And we always say me, you to each other, and it's like an I love you. And then you put lucky numbers 143, and 143, it means I love you. And so that's the lucky numbers, and then 426. And that was the day that he proposed to me. So 143, 426, or 426. But yeah, so I just have that. That's special to me. And I have my family here. So I really tried to put my heart in this room because this isn't just a business to me. This is my journey. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Why? Yeah, it's kind of lengthy. If you did not see the first part, this is actually part 2. First part, I don't cry. So yeah. Oh yeah, I'll show you what I'm wearing. I'm actually wearing some like one size peach black and white leggings. Let me show you. Peach and black leggings. If you see them. And I have a black Irma on, and just like I have a peach scarf, I would have done a Cassie or a Lindsay or Monroe as my scarf, but I didn't have any peach ones. And then I took the back. I don't know if you can see it, but I like cinched the back. The back so you can see it, so it kind of like flows down. And this is an Irma. So yeah, if you watch this, thanks for watching, I guess. Yeah, it's a journey, and hopefully this changes. It will change. I'm going to have a new why, because I'm going to have a stronger why, because I'm getting stronger. So thank you so much for supporting me and being there and helping me on this journey, because it means the world to me, and I wouldn't want any other people helping me along the way. So yes, I'm going to get off here now. Love you guys. Bye.